Well, hello. Today, the base for this cabinet for my pens arrived, so I thought I would share it with you. I'm experimenting a little using a different camera than I used before. I'm hoping I can do more steady cam when I'm actually looking at the case, but I already see it's a little awkward as I record me. But I think it'll be better. In any case, it'll be an experiment to try, so let's try it. So to update those who've been following along, this upper unit is what arrived first, and this lower unit is what arrived today. And if I order anything more, it's going to be, post-coronavirus season. About the only thing I have left that I could order, there's a wheeled base that would go under this, but I don't know that I really would need it unless I decide to put every single fountain pen thing I own all into one spot. So to review, the top part opens up like this, and I'm keeping all my fountain pen stuff up here, my repair stuff. Down here, this nice little dealio pops open, and then we've got this slidey deal to put it out of the way. So I have pens here. I have 26 pens. These got pulled out as I lifted this. I have 26 pens each in these drawers, or at least I can hold that many. And I have 12 pens each in these drawers. So 12 times 6 is 72. 26 times 3 is 78. So 72 plus 78 is 150 possible pens in this compact unit. A few people in the comments have remarked that, oh, I could have done that a lot cheaper. And you know what? You're right. But I love this, so I don't care. Had I known a certain virus was on its way, probably wouldn't have bought it, but so be it. Now this bottom unit, I was a little disappointed. I didn't catch on to this from the description, but it is just kept locked. So the keys I think we'll have to lay here. And same kind of deal. When I'm straight on, this is a lot easier. Holy buckets. So same kind of deal, that slides in. And then we have two shallow drawers. Now just for actually we will not compare, because I just realized I'll spill pens everywhere. So we will not compare, but these are quite a bit longer, so I'm curious to see how many pens these two drawers hold. And then I have a deeper drawer in the bottom, which we'll have to see what happens when I start putting pens in here. This may turn out a bit differently than my original plan. So I'm going to go get my pen trays, and we'll start measuring and cutting. And this time, I know to properly use my ruler, unlike the disaster from last time. Okay, so it occurred to me that why have studio lights, air quotes, studio lights if I don't use them? So I'm going to use them. So these drawers prove to be 8 inches deep. I'm just looking around to set my ruler down, and I can't see it. Oh, underneath the scrap I just cut. So yeah, this turned out to be, I'm sorry to all those of you who are on a more rational measurement system. This is made to American standards, so it's 8 inches deep. I didn't measure how wide, but I don't really care, or how long, but I don't really care how long, because what matters is how many pens I can fit in it. So I cut 2 of these thingies, 8 inches deep, and let's just see. Okay, that's too much. Let's move it one more spot over. These little trays hold 24 pens each, so there. That's about right. So I gotta see how many pens that is. So it turns out I can hold 34 pens. So if one of these is 24 pens, that means 24. And what did I say? 34? So then I'll cut another 11, because one of them will sit in here for security. I'll cut another 11 to fill this area. Okay, pardon any issues with accuracy. I thought I'd just do one under the lights so Okay, I can't get this any further back. Oh, God, I could just move the camera, couldn't I? Sometimes I'm really, really dumb. All right, so 8 inches. Somewhere here in the middle, we'll do another 8 inches. And another 8 inches here. Actually, the studio light is helping these puppies show up pretty well. So there I've got my mark all the way across it. The cutting is looks a little rough while I do it because I'm not using any fancy tools, I'm just using scissors. So I won't show you the whole thing. As long as I follow the line, it seems to work. And then we'll cut this last one down the middle, because if it's 24, then I'll have 12 and 12. And I know I said 11, but what the heck, so it sits in 2 trays. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Right there's the middle. Right? Right. Oops, that was a little sloppy. But it'll be on an end, so it's okay. So we're back in this drawer. Oh, I'm putting it in for 11. Awkward. There we go. So, I mean, it's a little ragged, but compared to how I was storing them, this will work. And the same thing I'll do in the other drawer. I'm going to leave the bottom drawer for the moment because I'm not sure how to handle it yet. One other thing I'll point out as a sort of word to the wise, I'm putting the cut end toward the front, and the reason is it's a lot less visible there. You almost have to be looking down on it to see the raggedness of my cutting. I guess maybe it shows up a little right here, but with pens there, nobody will notice, right? So time to add some pens. Now what I used to do is I would store my pens in a thing like this, and this is a lot of pens that are waiting for first impressions and Chinese pens and things. But, you know, it worked until you'd end up filling a category. Then you're like, well, shoot, what do I do now? God dang. And then you're kind of stuck. So then you'd spread them out to, oh, let's buy another case. Oh, let's buy another case. And then it's really pain in the neck just switching between them. I know, first world problems. So I eventually wanted something better, and this Gerstner International is what I came up with. Now, let me put these away. We'll just leave these Chinese, and no, some of these are Indian. Anyway, this and a Korean pen. We'll leave this collection of pens out here just as a visual aid. The next thing you come to is your pen collection is going to grow, and you need to leave room in your storage for it to grow. As I said, I would eventually buy a new one of these. These are not too badly priced, and add my pens to it. And then eventually, when I realized everything was all squunched together, I'd take them all out, resort them. In fact, I think last Christmas, one of my holiday special videos, I talked about rearranging the collection and putting it, I mean, I had these cases, but organizing it into them. So this year, or this, I don't know, this is going to be an Easter project, and thanks, virus which must not be named. I've got some time in the evenings to do it because I'm not attending any track meets or concerts or anything else for the kids. I'm even trying to avoid the school, so I have a lot more time of my own, which makes it a lot more refreshing to teach. But that's an editorial comment, not related to this. So the moral of the story is, got to leave room for your collection to grow. So let me show you what I mean. Don't worry too much about what specific type of pen this is. If you're curious, this is my Toes Pencala collection. When I include the repair projects that are upcoming, this isn't enough space. There's not enough room for this collection to grow here. Now, by contrast, let me pull out my Parker collection. These are all Parkers. I don't know if I don't feel like I have any waiting to be put in. But see, I've got room to grow down here. And that's what you want to keep in mind. Maybe we'll have some pens share a drawer. Let me think where my Italian pens are. I will find them eventually. There we go. Okay, not the best example. But here's my Italian pens, with one or two out for various reasons. Sharing with, an Australian pen and 3 pens from Pittsburgh. So yeah, we can share drawers. If it's a collection with not very many, like my Arrow collection, Arrow and Pelican fit very nicely in one drawer together, with room to grow for both collections. It may come to the point where I have to rearrange, but that's what I mean. Leave room for it to grow. So I've decided that this Toes Pencala collection is going to grow. So I'm going to rehome it into one of those big long drawers from the bottom. So I was a little frustrated a few minutes ago as I'm editing the video together to discover that after that last clip, every clip was only 5 seconds long. Didn't matter how long I actually made it, 5 seconds. And I had some interesting stuff here. I went through, I rearranged drawers. In fact, I was about to rearrange the, which ones was it now? The Toes Pencala pens. And, a whole bunch of fun stuff. And, oops, you can see the mess in my bedroom. I'll have to hide that. Actually, not much mess, just one thing I need to put away. But anyway, got everything put away, settled down to do a little reading after I edited, and whoops! So, let's try this again. We'll just take a look at a couple of these drawers and see what I did. So the big bottom drawer is now home to several collections. First of all, it's home to my Lamy collection. It's home to my Kaveco collection, of which a few are out and in use. And it will be home to my Geha collection, of which some are out for repair, some are out in use, some are out for cleaning. Yes, I left open space, and I actually can see this bit consolidating here, because I can see myself, curating this collection. I've been going to do a driving video about curating collections. This would be one I think I could curate, both the Kaveco and the Lamy. Now my next drawer up, I rehomed. I don't know if that's actually a word, but I'm using it. These are my Toes Pencala pens. I think I will fill this up pretty well over here. Over to my pens that don't have many friends. The Inco from Poland, some Bulgarian pens, a Romanian pen, which actually I should take out because that's a repair project, so I'll put it up with my repair projects. 2 Hungarian pens. Interestingly, Hungary has taken a interesting turn with its government that I've been kind of expecting. And the virus which must not be named was the excuse. And then finally my Centro pens, of which I have a few repair projects that will probably fill in a few spots there. Hopefully there's enough room. Next drawer up, I have 2 Wall Eversharps, Waterman's pens, not very many, some Esterbrooks, one of which it may be ending up in that group I sell, some Schaefer's, an Italics Parsons Essential, Rexall Monogram. In fact, I was just reading about a Rexall Monogram today. Different than mine, it had a different lever on it. Cora, Some Selectors, these are Dutch. A Marshall, I forget what nationality that is. I'll make a tag for it. And a Portuguese Feliça Académica. Of course, I have a plethora of Parkers. A few that just defy categorization. And a Majestic fountain pen. I think a few of the Parkers could find a new home. Actually, there's a few in that drawer that could. Then I have my Italian / whatever drawer. So here's the Italians. One or two Italians are out. I have 2 homemade pens. This is my Ethan. This is my Ethan pen, which I've done a review on. I've never actually done a video on this. I think it's a ballpoint. It's either a ballpoint or a fountain pen. Oh, it's a ballpoint. This is a bow pen. That wasn't given to me, but it is one of my students. I bought it from him just to support him, and he had fountain pens. At the time, he was... Actually, these two started doing pen turning at the same time. Went different directions with it. But this one I bought a number of years ago when he was still an 8th grader, or he'd finished 8th grade. So he got better. And then my Pittsburgh pens and my Australian pen. So far, no African pens, but only 2 continents to go, Africa and Antarctica. And I have my Japanese pens. Again, 1 or 2 are out. Sailor, which is a collection, unless I run across something that just really, whoa, I don't see this collection growing. Pilot, unlikely to grow unless I decide I want a Pilot music nib, or I decide I really want a soft fine, or soft, I should say. And then my Platinum / Nikaya. The Nikaya isn't here because it's in use, but some Platinums, some space for 1 or 2 surprises. And then in my little drawers, I have my Montblanc pens, which includes my Monte Rosas. This one, the collar around the nib has broken, so the nib is fine, the feed is fine, but the plastic collar that holds it has broken. So it's actually a repair project. I just need to figure out how. Some oddities, German pens that just don't really have a home anywhere. What is this one? A Matador and an Adlatus. 2 Rotrinks. This Rotrink actually was always in, where is it? I always kept it in one of those zip cases because it was too big to fit in the elastic holders. But this is kind of a neat pen because, other than being too big, it even has to lay on its side because the clip catches. But it's kind of a neat pen because how many pens do you know that do this? Yeah, I didn't think so. Almost got the camera with that laser, though. And then I have some Reform pens. There's going to be a few more added here. Oops, hair in it already. And then a Romus. I think that's a Western German pen. And then 2 Rotax pens. This will fill up. These are mostly East German pens. And then I have a few that'll go over here as I add it. This is a Kreutzer, which is actually West German, but it may be post-reunification. And then on the other side, so a few oddities. Tucker Sharp, Welsh Sharp, Swan, a Welsh pen, which when I bought it I thought Welsh meant as in made in Wales. Nope, just the name of the company. 2 Norwegian pens. In fact, this will be my Scandinavian end. I have, I believe, 2 Swedish pens that'll be in here. And I have a Danish pen here. So Try to remember my geography. I think that covers all of Scandinavia. Does Iceland count as Scandinavia? Okay, betraying my ignorance there. I don't know that Iceland really has a fountain pen industry or ever did, so I'm not going to hold my breath on that one. Then this drawer, I have my Pelicans, a collection again that's unlikely to grow unless I really run into an amazing vintage one that just blows my mind. And then my Aero pens. And the last drawer, I have my Senators, one or two missing because they're out for reviews or out in use. And then this is a Bühler. I gave away, I forget who I gave it to, but it had a twin that was red and tan. I gave it to somebody. So if there's room, I may put some oddities, or I may just assume that the Senator collection will grow. And then we have to do a little, well, I can lift it down first. I did a whole bunch of pen repairs tonight, by which I meant I did a whole bunch of pen cleaning. I decided I needed that top spot. So I picked out my easiest projects that were just, all they needed was a good clean. And these are my more challenging upcoming projects. There's one or two that aren't here. I got to figure out where I put them. And then this last view gets a little awkward. You're up on top of the bookshelf. I have my Noodler's pens, my Argentine pen. I have a couple of repair projects that are also Argentine, so they'll be going in beside it. A Turkish pen, which is a Scrix. A French pen, Stye Pen Up. I don't have a clue what nationality is. A.G. Spalding and Brothers. It's apparently a fashion house. An Oxcrom, which is Spanish. A Kitab, which is, depending on the age, either Palestinian or Israeli. And then I have some Soviet pens. And then this just sits very nicely on top and doesn't interfere with the pens below. So like I said, I got going with a whole bunch of videos where I was moving them around and analyzing, and you might be wondering about the pens that are missing. Specifically, these. Truth is, I ran out of room. I also have one or two, here we are. I have a handful of pens here for first impressions that are just waiting. A lot of them, though, I'd say 3/4 of the first impressions that are waiting, actually, under the conditions they were given to me, I need to pass them on after I'm done with them, so I will be doing that. But, yeah, I just ran out of room, which really blew my mind. So, for now, this will live on top. I think I've talked before about I'd like to do a video about curating a collection, and I feel like my own collection may be one to curate. I won't be selling anything until after this current situation is over. I may even wait a bit because I've got the feeling I may not be able to sell it for a very good price for a while. So, I may end up with the stuff I'm selling in one of these, and who knows, maybe after all this is over, maybe I'll end up at a pen show one of these days. Not many, well, okay, there are none close, and the ones that are at a convenient time are really, really far away. The ones that are close-est are at a really inconvenient time, so I don't know that I'll end up at a pen show, but it's something I've thought about. I would like to see one. I would like to actually meet the pen people of the world. So far, I've talked to a few, over the FaceTime on the computer, which can't do that right now till the damn thing gets repaired. But I've FaceTimed, or I guess I've just FaceTimed. Somebody talked to me about Skyping. I didn't know you could still Skype. I thought Skype had been folded up into Microsoft somehow, so maybe I can Skype again. But yeah, I've never talked to a pen person in person except for the store owner in Fargo at Zanbros, and he actually wasn't the pen guy, it's his brother who I've never met. So I haven't met pen people. So yeah, a hole in my life to work on. And I would like to keep my collection to this case. I don't know how realistic that is, but that is something that would be nice. Because the reason I got this case was so I could have the pens where I could easily pull them out and enjoy them. One thought I had, I remember remarking, and I didn't see it in my edits, I was thinking, it'd be nice to have a label on the drawers, but then I thought, I am not putting a label on that beautiful wood. So, hopefully memory will work. Because, I go into my kitchen, I don't say, oh gosh, which drawer are the spoons in? I just pull open the spoon drawer, and there we go. So it'll probably turn out like that. Now, like I said in the beginning, if I had known what was about to happen with the world, I probably would not have ordered this. I know I'm now going to have that mental feeling that, oh, my nose, oh, I got a cough, oh, am I running a fever for a while till I get over that again. Just because I feel like I brought something dirty into the house. And yeah, I did put my pens all in it and everything, but because I know, intellectually, I know that's just emotional feeling. There's no actual fact to it. I mean, could be. I may be down with the virus tomorrow, but I don't think so. But yeah, it's just a feeling thing. Right now, no cases in my county, so. And yeah, I have smiled to see this every morning that I've come out and looked at it. I think I told you right away that I knew I wanted it in the living room after I filmed that last video. And it is. It's, right beside the door to the bedroom, but, it's out in the living room now. And, yeah, really happy about it. I just really like it. It does come with a rolling base, which I think I mentioned at the beginning of the video. I have thought about that. Again, after current events are over, it's something to consider, but I see that as less likely because the rolling base has much deeper drawers, and unless I'm going to put ink in them, I don't see that as particularly useful to me. So, I'm going to leave it there. I am sorry you didn't get to see all the comments that I made, because I know I had a bunch of snide ones. But we'll just go with it. I pulled all the cleaning projects out of the top there that I could just clean. I will be doing some pen repair videos in the future and focusing on little bits and pieces of pen repair. But the ones I took out, it was simply clean them. Maybe clean them a lot, but clean them. One was caked with ink all over its surface. So, anyway, I'm babbling. It's late. It's, can you see my clock? No, you can't. No, you can't really read it either. 8:25. So, not bedtime, but I want to get this video edited and uploaded so I can go to bed on time. So we'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.